Yeah, they just win, right? Because they go straight Draco against me. This doesn't even take out the Lugia. It's the unfortunate part. Yeah, GG's. Alright, next time we go Roar time. There's no way, right? Unless there's a chance that they're running Thunder and no Draco. I guess we don't give up yet, just in case, right? They shield here. I don't know if I could play that differently after I messed up the Draco. Oh wait, they actually do have Iron Head. Oh man, see, this is why you don't give up. I was like, there's no way, but just in case. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'll be talking about my Master League team that I ran this past week. Obviously we have all 3 open leagues available now, so got a pretty solid team, I think, for people to try if they have the resources to run this. I ran a Landorus Therian form, and some people asked me already, don't use it in Incarnate form as a replacement because just in general, it's just not reliable enough, right? You can replace it with something else. I would honestly replace it with a Ho if you had a Ho instead. It has similar-ish coverage, but Incarnate form just not good. And then I had a Dialga Origin, and of course you use the Ultra form, the form that's been out for a while. Origin is just a little bit better just for the bulk, and you just don't debuff yourself a Roar time compared to Draco Meteor. And then Mewtwo in the back. Mewtwo is just unique, so you kind of need Mewtwo for this team. But overall, a lot of fun to play. I best play my Landorus because I would probably focus on best buying the Dialga Origin if I could, but I didn't have it ready yet. And so out of the 2, Landorus just made more sense because it's in the lead. Mewtwo is nice to have in the mirror, but especially now in the lead, you usually are a little bit behind energy or ahead or something. It's usually just not even energy. So that charge attack probably doesn't matter as much. Landorus in the lead with Best Buddy was actually pretty nice. And even if I had Best Buddy Dialga available, there's a chance I might still go with the Landorus. That being said, let's take a look at some footage. These are 2 sets of film back to back, but overall I think Master League is a really interesting league, and I'll talk more about that in a second. Before we get into the battles, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you'd like private one-on-one coaching, scrims against me, some of my league guides and strategies ahead of time, or even tune into my live stream battles, feel free to sign up through the Patreon link down below. So in general, I think Master League is actually quite the humbling experience. My elo, as you can see, is not even that high, right? I wasn't even, I might have been at the bottom of the leaderboards at this time period, or just out of range. But I think the big thing is a lot of the people on the leaderboard were just not even Master League players. So, but something I noticed in Master League is pretty much everyone in Master League knows roughly their counts. And something I did here, which I end up figuring out a little bit better later, is I would not actually throw the Sandsear Storm first. I would actually throw a Stone Edge, because if you land one Stone Edge, now they're in Sandsear Storm range. It's a much better play in my opinion. That being said, yeah, the way I'm playing this matchup in general is just kind of funky. I probably would have thrown a Stone Edge as well, but yeah, I don't really know what I was thinking in this match. Either way, Master League I think is a really great league, excuse me, because you could pretty much pinpoint why you lost a game in every single scenario. If you misplayed or your opponent misplayed, stuff like that. And a lot of times, sometimes it's even a decision call if you're baiting or not. But because as long as you're using pretty meta stuff, there's ways to kind of pinpoint exactly what went wrong. All right, so opponent here is getting farmed down. With the Kyogre in the back. Excuse me, sorry. Still a little sick from earlier. And then we get the Sandsear Storm off here. Zacian overall is not that bad for the team. It's getting back into the battles. But yeah, so this is a Necrozma Lunala Fusion Dusk main, I think. Or no, Dawn Wings, I think. I don't know. Anyway, it gets one shot by the Shadow Ball and it's double super effective, so it does go down. These are some of the newer Pokemon you're seeing, the fusion form of Solgaleo and Lunala, respectively. The Lunala's fusion variant is generally better, but the Solgaleo fusion is also kind of a pain too. Alright, so that being said, we usually say swap the Mewtwo just in general because no one really runs like Tyranitar or Dark types. Zarude, not very uncommon these days. And of course Yveltal, which was a little bit more common before, but it just doesn't have the bulk. And those are like really the only things that really walled off Mewtwo. So with Shadow Ball and Side Strike, it's actually very, very safe. I always bait the potential Focus Blast because sometimes you get people to shield. Also, sometimes if you just need to get off energy, sometimes throwing 2 Side Strikes is better than a Shadow Ball. So you get 2 moves off. That's also a good play as well in those scenarios. This is a real old school team. Kyogre, Dialga, Togekiss. I think this was Dialga Origin form, but still, it's like one of those teams from like Season 1 of Go Battle League, which is kind of nuts. So you can see, still having a lot of play still, and we're on what, Season 15, quote unquote, even though it's, I think, like in actuality it's like 18 or 19. So either way, it's been over 4 years and people are still running this team, so it goes to show how strong it is. That being said, able to just play around with our energy and make things work. Mewtwo safe swap, again, able to get you a shield advantage in a lot of situations. All right, Tapu Bulu, kind of an interesting one. You don't see this super often. I assume they're running Nature's Madness, and I should say going to throw Nature's Madness, so I just want to take the move and let him debuff me first. Honestly speaking, I don't think this thing's actually that good, so if you have one, I don't know if it's really worth making. I have a hundo as well, but it's just like, it just loses too many things in neutral. Like, look at this matchup. I got so much value. I still have like a Stone Edge worth of energy on my Landorus. I have Shadow Ball energy on my Mewtwo. I'm just going to go for the double Side Strike, like I said. It's just better. I could potentially get a Shadow Ball off here. No, I think I wasn't able to, so I just rather get the energy off. If I put this in Sandsear Storm range, that's actually really nice, because then they lose Charge Attack priority as well. You can see, this is pretty good for me, because they're going to be debuffed as well, and most likely they shield, and then they swap over to Palkia. I left with a Sandsear Storm. I'm in a pretty comfortable spot at this point. And this, you know, again, recognizing that you win Charge Attack priority with Landorus is really important, so definitely something to study up on if you're not as familiar with what has higher attack than what's in Master League. It could really make a difference in a lot of your matches and how your gameplay goes. Okay, we do block the Spatial Rend, and then they have to commit energy at this point, and yeah, we're going to play it out here. So I think some of my wins, I get a little lucky with my opponent's misplays, but there's also times where like a lot of the decisions are very calculated. So again, like I said, if you're really trying to like learn the ins and outs of PvP well, Master League is a really good spot. Meta is fairly limited. A lot of the Pokemon, as long as you're using meta Pokemon, have a lot of play into each other as well. Like Kyogre could still lose a Ho-Oh. Ho could still be Palkia. You know, like things that like don't seem like they have that much play still do. So it allows for a lot more dynamic play. This is one of those times where having the best buddy does pay off, because I win Charge Attack priority, and so I could play around it, and I know that my opponent probably was going to throw on Charge Attack priority after I won the first time, so allow me to kind of catch that move, or, you know, draw some of that energy away from the Landorus. And again, grabbing a shield from Mewtwo with potential Focus Blast, huge for me. Now they're completely stripped of shields. I have still like most of my health on the Landorus. I do have the shield in this scenario, but I already know, oh, they actually ran Draco Meteor, so I'm definitely going to overfarm here by quite a bit. Probably get farmed a little bit more, to be honest. But this puts me in a pretty good spot, because if they come in Landorus, it gets a little bit tricky. And they don't get to move, which is nice for me, and we just go straight. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if they take me out here. I think I survived the Spatial Rend, yeah. I mean, that's one of the factors, too, for Dialga Origin, is able to tank the Spatial Rend better than the Ultra form. But even if I don't, I still have energy on my Landorus. So, yeah, 5-0 in that set. Facing Chrome PvP, a buddy of mine, actually. I didn't even realize it was him when I faced. I probably just missed the name. But we are into a Palkia. And this is kind of funky, too, because they can always catch a potential Side Strike, so something we'll always watch out for. This person actually didn't catch it, which is nice, because the energy just landed. They have energy on the Palkia, obviously, but this puts me in a pretty good position. I went Charge Attack priority against Landorus, and they went straight Stone Edge, which is really interesting to me. I think I'm closing in on Sandsear Storm range at this point. And I remember this specific moment. They went Stone Edge again, which was really funky. Not really sure why, but that allowed me to have a big farm down. And I went Charge Strike priority, so I think I just throw the blind Side Strike, which goes on the Ho. Still pretty good. I get a lot of value there. And then now I'm going to go for another one. And I think I just swap aggressively over. Yeah, this is pretty good for me too. We get to Sandsear Storm to hopefully take this out. And then they have to commit a lot of energy on the Ho. They're going to clear it out right there. Xerneas, same thing with Zacian. I don't remember if I figured this out or not, but my recommendation is go straight Stone Edge first, then go Sandsear Storm next. Yeah, so right now you can see me actually doing this. So maybe I just realized it after that Zacian matchup. See, now I was going to shield the Moonblast out of the way, right? And I was going to do that for the Zacian. I was going to shield the potential Play Rough. But now we could just throw straight Sandsear Storm, and they have to shield the Sandsear Storm, which is a much better scenario. You can see they're shielding it, and now I even catch a Moonblast too, which is quite nice. So I save this because most times when they do this, they have a Dialga in the back. And as you can see, there's Dialga on a lot of teams. It's not the craziest thing to see a Dialga in the back. I'm going for the double Side Strike. Obviously, this Dialga hits a little bit harder. And so I unfortunately don't get the move off. But either way, we still grab the shield, which is very, very nice for me. Now, Xerneas is out of energy at this point. So I can overfarm a little bit, have stuff for the Xerneas later. I'm in a pretty commanding position. My Dialga also has plenty of play into the Xerneas because I could tank a move from them. But they actually get to another move. Wow. Surprised me a little bit. And yeah, so this could be a potential disastrous situation. Let's see how it goes. They come in Xerneas, and it's just really uncomfortable for me because it's really hard to Dragon Breath this thing down. And close combat does quite a bit of damage. Yeah. And they have Kyogre in the back. Okay. So not too bad. Unfortunately, I had to throw this move because I don't want to get taken out by a Surf. So I have to kind of take out the Kyogre as fast as I can. But at this point, they could, they get to a move before me. So their Dialga getting to that move and surviving the Sandsear Storm definitely was probably the not the best part for me. But my opponent played it well. And honestly, if I swap the Dialga, I don't even know if I win that. Because if I tank an Iron Head on it, it's also just taken out by close combat at that point. So go for the baits. Kind of risky baits, but I figured most people will probably shield, especially with swapping in down energy. And then, yeah, I get hit by Stone Edge, and I swap out to my Mewtwo. Mewtwo does one charge like priority, but getting debuffed by Sandsear Storm does make this matchup a little bit funkier. I always like to still throw on charge like priority to make the most of the situation. They're likely not going to shield at this point. But you can expect Dialga on a lot of teams. That's why Landorus has so much play, and there's just not a lot of great shutdown for Dialga, which is why, not getting that Shadow Ball off could be costly. Or Side Strike, I should say. I don't know. Side Strikes wouldn't put in KO range anyway, so it's probably not the end of the world. But I am going to shield this up. Maybe I swap out? Yeah. I don't remember how I played this, but I like how old Caleb played this matchup. Alright, and then they have a Landorus, and we get the full Dragon Breath down, which is absolutely huge, and they quit out. Dialga Origin has so much play. Honestly, there's very few counters to it, because a lot of the counters lose to it. The fairies are no longer true counters to Dialga anymore, especially in Dialga Origin, because you're just bulkier and you can just dish out so much more damage. See, here I'm playing out the Zacian matchup way better now. Again, laying the Stone Edge, shielding the Play Rough, because I was going to shield it anyway, and then now we go for Sandsear Storm and force them to shield, potentially. And here it is. They shield, lower energy move, and yeah, I just let this go. I think I just need the energy. I get to the double, which is quite nice. My guess, Ho-Oh for this team is really, really annoying. So if I have a Ho, this puts me in a tough spot. Let's see if it's a Ho or not. So they come in with Dialga Origin, and I just barely get the Sandsear Storm off, which is pretty big for me. And I probably just come in my own Dialga at that point, and they have a Fairy type, which is fine. Yeah, Xerneas, not a huge deal for Mewtwo. Mewtwo, this is one of my favorite parts about Mewtwo, is it just hits really, really hard. For neutral in a lot of these matchups, and the pacing is just so fast. Honestly, against even a Ho, I'd rather be the Mewtwo than the Ho. But yeah, it's just that pacing is so fast, and it hits still very, very hard. Obviously, out of all these Pokemon, you could potentially run a Shadow Mewtwo, but I personally don't recommend it. Mewtwo already hits hard enough. You need the extra bulk, right? Like a Shadow Mewtwo just can't tank a Moonblast like that. And then my opponent does swap here, but at this point in time, we're in a good spot. We're head on energy, or they're probably trying to get to the Roar time, maybe, but and then we have 2 Side Strikes loaded on the Mewtwo. There's just no way we lose this matchup here. And there we go. But yeah, overall, you could probably pinpoint most losses on personal misplays in a lot of these matchups, myself included. I think overall, Master League was a very humbling experience. I don't play Master League a ton. Something I like to do against opposing Mewtwo is try to catch a side strike. Some throw right away because they win charge of priority and they want to get debuffed. But other times, they don't. So it's kind of a toss-up. This is also a weird one. Even with Roar Time, like, it's just a huge energy sink to just throw it. And they shield it. So there's a lot of reasons to even bait Iron Head these days, even though Roar Time doesn't debuff you. I get hit by the Draco meter actually, so they're debuffed. Wasn't expecting that. Obviously, Roar Time is not TMable. Oh, I remember this game. You can see I was trying to throw. I couldn't throw. Yeah. I blame Niantic, but it is what it is. You know, I'm sure it happens for my opponents sometimes too. So it kind of all evens out, but a little bit frustrating. I definitely didn't want to have to take the Iron Head. And then they come with Mewtwo. I was going to win charge attack priority against that anyway, so that's fine. But I should have had more health, right, in this situation, and I should have had another no, I wouldn't have shield there. All right, should have more health. I don't know if it makes a difference or not in this scenario. You can see it's harder to tell in this specific clip because it's sped up, but I think my turns were stuttery a little bit. I don't know. Either way, yeah. That might have made a difference because what I would have done is much shot that down, but I didn't have the health to do it because I tanked that Iron Head. Either way, we still went positive in our second set. Overall, I think the team's really solid. The biggest weakness to the team, in my opinion, is Ho-Oh because there's not really clear answer. I don't think we saw as much of it in these sets, but there's a lot of times where you face a Ho-Oh in the lead, and it's really just a big bait game or big call time on both ends. Do you go for Stone Edge or do you for the baits, and do they just straight up no shield the potential Stone Edge, or they shield everything? And some players, they just straight up no shield the Sandsear Storm. And there's times where I just throw a Stone Edge and take them out, and they just quit out right away. So it's a strategy as well on the Ho players' end as well. So it's a big feast or famine situation for both players. But definitely a matchup to watch out for. And then one other thing you might be asking is, how do you deal with Hisuian Avalugg? Best way to do that is throw a Sandsear Storm first and then go Mewtwo. Most don't have Mewtwo answers on those teams, and then you can usually win that even though you're double weak to Hisuian Avalugg in the lead with Landorus. That being said, best of luck if you decide to run this team. Obviously expensive because it's Master League, but I know some players definitely have these resources, so want to dip my own toes in Master League a little bit. I don't play a ton, but I had a newly built Dialga Origin that I want to test run, and gotta say, this thing's busted. So if you don't have one, hit up your lucky friends. Every lucky trade you do, you should prioritize this if you can, in my opinion. Anyway, that being said, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.